everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first vlog. I am super excited and super nervous about filming my first vlog. I really had no idea what I wanted to do for my first vlog, and then I very last minute decided to join Escape the Readathon, so I figured perfect, might as well. So this is just going to be the first week of Escape the Readathon, and it's going to be everything I read. If you don't know what Escape the Readathon is, it is a competitive team-based readathon hosted by Lexi from Books with Lexi. I am going to link just her announcement video down below because she can probably explain it so much better than I can. But basically, this year we are stuck in a haunted carnival and we have to try to get out by reading books to fit different prompts. There are prompts that fit into specific rooms, and then once you get into a room, you unlock a game, and the games are, there's 2 prompts and you have to figure out which one's right and read for that, and then the faster you win the game, the more tickets you get, and the more, whoever has the most tickets at the end of the month wins. There are 4 teams for Escape the Readathon. There are the Game Jesters, the Thrill Seekers, the Film Crew who won last year, and the Snack Squad. I had a few teams that I wasn't sure where to place myself, but ultimately I chose the Snack Squad because, well, 1, I work in food and beverage, and 2, I love a snack. I haven't really ever done any readathons, let alone a team-based one, so I'm really excited about this one, but I'm already pretty worried about the length of this vlog, so let's just hop into it. Okay, so we are just going to quickly talk about some of the first books that I want to try to read for Escape the Readathon. It is currently April 29th. It's 3 o'clock, and I only have a little bit of time before I have to finish getting ready for work. But I hopped into the Discord server for the first time today, and I got kind of immediately overwhelmed because so many of the people on my team, they have an entire TBR picked out for all the prompts, and I was like, wow, the way I was simply just gonna sit in front of this shelf as we got to prompts and pick things that fit, and I was like, oh my god, am I like doing this wrong? And I'm scrolling, and I was very, very overwhelmed. And then someone was like, I love that everyone has all this picked because I'm a mood reader and I'm just gonna go with the flow. And then like 3 people were like, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I feel a bit better about it, but I just want to have the initial game plan ready before we hop into the month so I can just monopolize my reading time because I want to read a lot this month, and I'm hoping that this readathon is going to help me motivate me to keep going. Let me just pull up my team's chat. Intro Olivia probably told you that I am on the Snack Squad, but we have 2 prompts that it looks like we're going to go from 1 to 1. So I have some hopefuls here next to me, and then when you see me again on the first, we're gonna see if it panned out, if I did what I said I was gonna do. Okay, so what we're gonna try to start with is Horsing Around, which is an intimidating read, and I have quite a few. So first of all, I have both Don't Fear the Reaper and The Angel of Indian Lake, and I just last month read, currently still this month, my wrap-up will be up by the time this is up though, My Heart is a Chainsaw, and like wrap-up Olivia will probably scream it to the heavens, but I am obsessed, and so I'm kind of intimidated to read these because are they gonna live up to the first one? But I do think I want to have a book in between each of them, and My Heart is a Chainsaw is looking like it's gonna be my final read of this month because the way that my work schedule is today and then my work schedule is tomorrow, like I think all I'm going to do in between my shifts is simply rest, and then tomorrow when I get home from work, it'll be midnight and it'll be time to start Escape the Readathon because I live in the Eastern time zone, which is where we're starting. I think I'm definitely going to try to fit in Don't Fear the Reaper for this. I've never done Escape the Readathon, and I don't know how long it's gonna take for us to unlock and get to the next prompt. But so to start, before I get into Don't Fear the Reaper, because I want to read in between, is Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. And this is an intimidating read because, I bought this at Barrington Books. This is an intimidating read because I'm not a true crime girly. I'm not. I don't love the, I don't know. I'm just not a true crime girly. And so I'm very intimidated to read this, but the biggest reason that I picked it up is that it is all about the victims and the women, and they don't even name the serial killer. I don't think it's Ted Bundy. But I'm intrigued to read it, but I am intimidated because I'm not sure if it's gonna be my thing. But so I think I'm gonna start the month with this. I'll probably get the audiobook and follow along because that's what my brain likes the most. The next prompt that we're gonna go for after intimidating reads is a popcorn read, which is just like a fun little read that you could want to pull popcorn and eat. And so my first one that I have for this is Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. This series is just, I feel like, probably the epitome of a popcorn read. It's fun, it's silly, it's goofy, it's a grand old time. I've really enjoyed all the books. None of them have really hit like the first one, but I do often use, like, I save these, I stockpile them, and I wait until I've read just like a bunch of intense like horror or thrillers, and I'm like, I need something fun and quick to get through to get me back into that mood. But I think this fits the prompt really well. And then obviously, because we're trying to fit these in this month, I can read The Angel of Indian Lake because it's a slasher. That is a popcorn movie. Just imagine you're at a movie theater watching a slasher film with all your best buds and you've got some popcorn. So amazing. And then that is all for my hopefuls for our first few prompts. This is my first vlog. So I don't know how I want to do it, if I just want to go for like a week from the start of Escape the Readathon to the end, or if like maybe after 3 books I cut it. I don't know. I don't want to do too much and overwhelm myself, but I am really, really excited for my first readathon. So I will see you probably at midnight on the 1st to tell you what I've decided to start reading. I don't know why I waved. I'm gonna see you in like 0.3 seconds. Okay, I just got home from work, and I thought I was gonna be home earlier today, but we got stuck there a little late, so unfortunately it is already past midnight. It's 12:16 a.m. I just got home like 10 minutes ago, if that, but I usually can't go to bed right after work, and it is officially May, which means it is officially Escape the Readathon, so I am going to start this bad boy. Usually after work I really can't focus on a book, so we'll see how far I get in, but I do think, look at the bean. Okay, maybe I want to try to get like 50 pages in, or maybe just a couple chapters. We'll see how much my attention span can hold, but I have my headphones. I'm gonna get the audiobook, or I actually just downloaded the audiobook, but I've got my water. I've got my little cuddle buddy, and we're gonna see how much we can read before my eyes just simply can't focus anymore, so we'll see. Okay, so I lied about 50 pages, but I've read 30. There's the odds. That was the biggest sigh ever. I think he wants me to shut up. I'm really interested so far. It is like my mind is wandering even with the audiobook in, and I have to keep rewinding, so I'm just gonna pick it up in the morning. He's leaving, or he's just adjusting the head. I was like, usually I talk to him all the time at night. I am gonna put this down so I don't nudge him though. Already it seems very different than what the inside flap says happens. So I'm intrigued to see where it keeps going. I cannot stop yawning. Okay, we're gonna take it as a sign. My brain is like not shut off yet, but it can't focus, so maybe I'll see. I'm sure someone's posted some Readathon TBRs today, so maybe I'll go watch one of those before I go crawl into bed. But I will pick up my reading bright and early in the morning, and we'll see. Good morning. Okay, now that it's not 1 a.m. and I haven't just worked 7 hours, and I have some coffee, let me actually talk to you about this book, because I think I was pretty much just incoherent last night. I am still only 30 pages in. I'm about to hop back in. But I think I just said things and didn't actually really talk about the book. I did say that it doesn't match the synopsis, which is correct so far, which I don't know if I'm missing something or if they dramatize the synopsis. But the synopsis is all pretty much this first night. And I read it before I updated last night because I don't want to spoil anything. And I'm currently reading the day that the synopsis talks about, and it starts with 7 hours before, and then 5 minutes before, and then it's 3 a.m., and now I'm at 4 a.m. But the synopsis, it's kind of little things. It says the girl the sorority, president, is it a president, who sees the killer leave their sorority the first night, wakes up because she heard a noise, but it's actually she woke up because she was hungry and wanted a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and then she hears a noise. And then it says she finds 2 of her sorority sisters dead and 2 injured, but there's just 3 people injured and no one's dead. So I'm about to move into an hour after, and I'm was she in shock and she didn't notice that someone was missing? But that doesn't seem right, because they all just really right now genuinely think that a burglar came in and also just decided to slash some of their faces, except for the one sorority sister who keeps saying it was the Soviets, which is a little funny. But so I'm gonna hop back in. I really don't know much. I think the whole purpose of this is that we're not talking about Ted Bundy, so I don't really want to talk about Ted Bundy, but I don't know much about that at all. I think I've seen one movie years ago that I hardly remember, but I think that this is after he escaped prison the first time, but he escaped in Colorado, and they're in Florida or something, so they're not thinking about an escaped convict. And then another woman is going to come into play, and I think in a couple chapters I'm going to read from her, and I guess years before one of her friends went missing, and she thinks that the same man who terrorized them is the one who's terrorizing these women, and I think her and Pamela, they're gonna cross paths, and they're gonna do some badass lady shit. So I'm gonna keep reading this. Other things that I have to do today. I don't have a traditional job where it's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I work in the food and beverage industry, so my schedule changes every week, and we're open 7 days. So today is one of my days off. I need to film my April wrap up, but I want to actually sit down and write some things out instead of just turn it on the camera willy-nilly, because I feel that'll be kinder to editing, Olivia, and just a better video in general. And I'm also gonna go get lunch with one of my friends. Well, actually my roommate, but she's been dog sitting for a month, and also right before she started dog sitting, dislocated her knee and literally just doesn't leave the house if she's dog sitting, and she's going stir crazy. So we're gonna go get some lunch later. But I don't wanna do a single thing until I get to at least page 100 in this book. So I'm gonna start reading now. It's 10:45 because it took me forever to fall asleep last night, so I didn't get up until like 10. But the dogs have been out. I've eaten a little breakfast. I have a coffee. And then, unrelated to Escape the Readathon, but Jan from Readathon, I think is doing sprints at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to sit down and read my little book and see how far I can get in. And I will update you maybe around the 100-page mark, the 150-page mark. I feel like maybe this should go without saying, but this isn't going to be a spoiler vlog at all. And I just opened this, and I think the other woman's name is Ruth, so there we go. All right. Okay, so I am now 101 pages in to Bright Young Women. We've moved here literally just so you can have a little bit of a change of scenery. Okay, so in my last update, the parts about the synopsis, had I only just read like 20 more pages, all would have been true, with the exception of she woke because she heard a noise. That was just, I think, embellishment. She was already downstairs about to make herself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when she heard the noise. But we are following 3 timelines and 2 perspectives currently. We are following Pamela, who is like our main character, both in present day, where she gets a letter that we don't really know what it's about yet, but she's flying down to Florida, and we're following her in the minutes before this attack on her sorority house and in the days following, and she is the president of the chapter. That's what it's called in a sorority. The dog just snored. I don't know if you heard that. And then we're following Ruth, who I had said I thought was the woman who thinks that this is the same man who killed her friend and flies to Florida after she sees the news. Ruth is actually the friend that this woman thinks the same man killed. And Tina is the woman who flew to Florida to be like, I think this is connected. Ruth, we're following in 1974, I'm assuming before she dies, and it's all gonna come together in the end. I'm really enjoying it so far. This is my intimidating read for Escape the Readathon, which I think I said in this beginning clip, but I don't read a lot of true crime, mostly because I think it, not in like, how do I say it? I think there are a lot of times where the victims aren't really talked about in a great light, or they're kind of disregarded to just talk about the serial killer, who in this we're calling the defendant, so that's what I'm going to say from now on. He is the defendant, and right now he's just the man who broke into the sorority. It depends on what timeline you're in. But, I mean, Pamela, even in her 1978 timeline, is saying things like, I'm going to come to regret saying this, or in the years following when we're in the courtroom, the defendant. So it is, I guess, future her narrating everything, and then we're just getting Ruth in the past. There's a lot of talk about how men constantly disregard what women say, and simply you can't be that smart, and simply you can't know better than me, and we're dismissing you. That's happening a lot with the sheriff and the officer who we're trying to talk to and convince of things. So far, they're not doing that. And then I also just, in Ruth's section, there was this great little chat about grief and how grief is also a chore and you have to overcome it, like doing your laundry. And it's kind of inspired me to do my laundry because the first few months of the year were rough, and I just have clean laundry slammed into all sorts of baskets and dirty laundry just on the floor, and then when I clean more laundry I shove it in the basket. So I think this week, thank you Bright Young Women, we're just going to take 10 minutes every day and do some, because doing it in small increments seems a lot less daunting than doing the whole thing at once. So that's also my plan. So thank you Jessica Knoll for helping me with my laundry. But if I don't leave like in 2 minutes, I am going to be late to lunch. So I'm going to go to lunch with my roommate. I think that's the only thing we're doing. We're meeting separately. So I'll just come home right after and continue reading. And then if I have time, I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm not going to fully commit because how many pages is this? I would love if I finished my first book of May on the first day of May. But it's 373 pages, so we'll see. But I also got rid of my shift for tomorrow night. I got someone to take it because tomorrow is one of my friend's birthdays, and very last minute, her husband was like, I want to surprise Max. And I was like, well, now I'm also surprised, but I can now go. So I'll also have the whole morning to read, but I can also stay up a little late to read this, because since I won't have post-work brain, I'll actually be able to read at night. So I think I can finish it today. Maybe I'm being ambitious, but I want to so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go to lunch, so my roommate's not waiting on me. I'll see you later. Bye. I am on the first kickoff sprints of Escape the Readathon. I've got the little cuddle bug, but I wanted to update on Bright Young Woman, mostly because I've read something funny that I wanted to tell you about. I like how you just keep getting more on me. You're making it a little hard. I am exactly 223 pages in. I'm actually really liking the pacing of the book and how we're swapping from each perspective. Usually sometimes when there's different timelines, I can find that one is a bit more boring and one's a bit more exciting, but I'm equally enthralled in all of them. I also, maybe took me too long to put this together, but when we follow Pamela in both of her timelines, her college timeline starts 7 hours before, and then 5 hours before. And then it's like 2 days after, 3 days after. And then, so now we are at day 14. We're 14 days after the initial attack. But then when we're following present day Pamela, I don't know if you just heard the dog bark, sorry. It's day 15,826. And I find that interesting because most of the time, when people go through trauma, they think about it in before and after. So I thought that was an interesting... Okay, my battery died. But yeah, so I thought that the labeling of the days, even in the present day, was very interesting. Yeah, you want to play. Okay, give me a minute. But the quote that I just read, that, like, it's not, like, relevant to the book or anything. I just thought it was funny. Okay, yeah, Ay. Okay. Is she's just gotten back to their sorority house. Bro, really, right now, we've been quiet all day, and it's time to play. Can you sit for like 5 minutes? Navy Bean? Okay, so they just got back to the sorority house for the first time, and she's going through the mail, and she's just like talking about what's in there, and I'm sure I'm about to get to something that's a little strange or nefarious or something. But it goes, there was a letter from a man in New Hampshire who had read about what happened to us, citing statistical increase in violent crimes against women, suggested we speak to our local precinct about hosting a handgun training session for women. If they didn't have the manpower, he would be happy to provide his services. And he had an army friend in Pensacola he had been meaning to visit. And Navy, stop it. I grew up in New Hampshire. We moved there when I was 2. And I stayed there until I graduated high school, so I just thought that was funny, because that's, like, the most New Hampshire thing I've ever read. I'm going to end the update, because very clearly somebody wants to play and their puppy energy is out. There's 11 more minutes left on sprints, so I'm going to see how much further I can get. I did the math, and I have, oh no, I exited out of the calculator, 157 pages left, but in the audiobook, I only have an hour and 48 minutes left, and I'm listening at 2.9 speed because both of the women narrators in this speak so slowly. So I should be able to get done with it pretty soon. If I finish and my roommate is not home from work yet, I will update you. It seems like my roommate is stuck at work and they work a state away, so it'll still take them a while to get home. I don't know how loud his playing is because we're still new to this camera, so I apologize. I'm gonna go. I will update you when I finish, either immediately or at 11:30 when my roommate goes to bed and I'm still awake. It's itchy, baby. I saw itch for you. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye. Say bye, Duncan. Okay, obviously it's the next day. Okay, wait, you can't see my eyes. Oh god, I'm blind. But I did want to update you because I haven't updated you since last night, which means I haven't told you that I finished Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. I mean, I picked this for my... Sorry, I'm in a parking lot and I don't want anyone to see me. I picked this for my intimidating read, mostly because it's true crime and I'm not that into that because I don't ever think we talk about the victims at all, and that is the complete opposite of what this book is, and it was 5 stars. It was amazing. It did an amazing job of highlighting how we see serial killers and how we treat them and how we never really talk about the women who are maimed or hurt or brutalized at the hands of them. And there was a quote. Oh, I have a photo. Okay, I got it. I am sweating. I didn't want the car to be running, but it is boiling hot. The defendant did not like to be told what to do and when to do it, and once jammed his jail cell keyhole with toilet paper so the guards couldn't get in when they arrived to escort him to his arraignment. For this he was called cunning and clever, though I had a dog once who also tore up toilet paper when he didn't give enough attention. Like, ugh, so good. It does a great job of reminding us that he is a small man and he's not very clever and he's not smart, and the women are really the excellent ones and the smart ones, and part of the reason they died is because they were smarter than him, and that pissed him off because he had a big ego. Like, it was just so good and I loved it, and I'm really, really happy that I read it. I don't have a giant update for today, but I did start Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, mostly because this I can fit into either an intimidating read or a popcorn read. So if by the time I finish this we're done with intimidating read, I can slot it into popcorn read because it's a slasher, so that's popcorny to me. But I'm intimidating mostly because I am so scared that, like, what if I don't like the rest of this series after I just, like, screech to the heavens in my wrap-up about how My Heart is a Chainsaw is my new favorite book. I'm probably not going to get much more reading done today because I am about to leave to go celebrate a friend's birthday, and I'm probably not going to get home late because I'm driving a state away. So I will maybe read some tonight because obviously I'm not going to be drinking. I'm driving home. So maybe once I get home I'll read a little. If not, I'm going to get up real early in the morning and start to read. I'm not going to get up early in the morning, let's be honest, I won't. But I will read tomorrow morning once I wake up naturally when I so please. Where are my car keys? In the thing. Look at her go. Oh, what else did I do today? Because I didn't read. I read 61 pages. That's pretty good. I edited my April wrap-up and I uploaded it. It took longer to edit than I thought it would, but I think that that's a good thing because I'm taking more time. I'm cutting out my ums, and yeah, I'm excited to improve just with each video. But I am boiling freaking hot, so this is the end of this update. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Plot twist. I did, in fact, not get up bright and early. But I also didn't get home until, like, almost 2 a.m. Crazy, I know. And then I simply cannot go immediately to bed, so I don't think I went to bed until, like, after 3:30. But I can update you, because I did read this morning after I got up. Hold, please. You're on a very precariously balanced pile of books. I have to keep crossing my leg because I'm going to rest it on the table and jiggle you. And sorry for the tip taps. Anyone with just sensory issues is going to be like, why are we moving so much? But I read some more of Don't Fear the Reaper this morning. What page am I on? 161, so I'm exactly 100 pages further than I was yesterday. I obviously cannot tell you anything about this plot at all because it is a sequel. I feel like I can tell you that opposite of last book where we just had one narrator, we have several. I can't even tell you how many there are, but I feel like I can tell you because the Audible cover names like 5 of them, and then as you start listening, it's like he names 10 more people at least. Like there's like so many different. All the men sound the same to me. Let's be real. That was the same issue I had with Daisy Jones. But I'm having a really fun, good time. So some of my worries of not liking this or this not living up have waned. And there's one thing that I really liked in the first book that I didn't know that they would be able to continue, but they are. So that's really fun as well. I wanted my hair to dry a little before my book haul, and I think it has, and you've been updated. Sneak peek of the book haul. I thought I was exactly even. I have purchased or acquired the same amount of books that I had bought last year in the first 4 months of this year. And it was dead even. I have a little spreadsheet. And then as I was pulling books off of my TBR shelf, I forgot about these 4 that I just shoved in the back that are Sherlock Holmes books, which like I'm not mad about. I'll read them eventually. What I am mad about is I really want, in the same way that I read at bare minimum, to read half BIPOC authors. I would like half of the books I'm bringing in to be by BIPOC authors, and I was only 1.5 books off. And I found these, and now I am 5.5 books off. So that's unfortunate. But, I mean, I haven't actually been tracking or paying attention while book shopping all year. So it's actually, it was pretty close until I found these. So that was nice. If you want to see the state of my kitchen table, you guys have been balancing. I can't see. You've been balancing on the books I've read. This is my little movie mug. She's so cute. And then I kind of just have them by genre because I can't ignore the clutter on the other half of the table. I shoved everything over there. I don't know when I bought everything or when I acquired them for like birthday, Christmas gift cards. So I'm gonna go by genre, but you get a little sneak peek, and now I can't see myself. Look how fun. I'm gonna start my book haul though, and I will chat with y'all later, hopefully when I'm out of jeans and out of a sweater and in pajamas. The idea of now getting all of these back on the shelves makes me have serious regrets of my book buying habit. Okay, so I just finished putting all of the books back on the shelves, both my read and my unread, and let me just show you. So most of my books are currently in storage. So I just have these 2 shelves, and I have a book of the month TBR shelf in my bedroom, but I have a really small room. But okay, so these are the read, and we're getting pretty close to being full. But then this is the TBR shelf, and with an exception of like a bit of room here for like general fiction and a bit of room here for nonfiction, I'm out of space. I could fit one more horror here. This is actually a fantasy, and I just realized I missed. Oh wait, yeah, no. So I can fit either a fantasy or a horror here. Everything else is pretty chock full. I had to take out books that I know I want to get to this month and put them up here. So I think I should stop buying some books for a while. Will I? I don't know. Ooh, I also have these first 2 volumes of Heartstopper that were down there with the rest because I want to reread these. And maybe the third, I have to check Goodreads. I don't know if I've read the third. Probably during Pride, I want to reread and finish what has been published so far. But I need a little refresher. But damn, just the labor of putting everything back was a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go get in some comfy clothes, and then continue reading. I'm just like twirling. What time is it? It's 6 o'clock. Let's see if my roommate has left work yet. Okay, find my friends. My roommate has not left work yet, so I'm gonna get in some comfy clothes. I'm gonna read as much as I can until they get home. And then, maybe they wanna go out to dinner because I have only eaten cheese and grapes today. Oops. You two have been very clingy today. Okay, lay down, but without laying on top of me. Okay. You call me. Pick up the phone. Good morning. It is a few days later than the last time you saw me reading on this little couch. It is Monday morning now. Last time we saw each other was Friday, and I think I made it to page 230-ish in Don't Fear the Reaper. If it was before my camera battery died, you probably saw me just cry a little bit, just a little. It wasn't like falling, but I had watery eyes. Updates so far, since I can't really tell you anything about the plot, I can at least tell you how far I've made it. Saturday, I read nothing. I think I got home from my morning shift at like 6:30 at night, and then I came home, I helped my roommate build a bed frame, and then it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I haven't eaten anything but a yogurt today. And then I went to bed pretty early, because I worked again yesterday, Sunday, but that was like a 3 to 11 shift, so I read in the morning, and I got to I probably read 20 pages when I got home, so I got to page like 330-ish, and then I got to page 360 last night, but I'm like currently in the middle of a 100-page chapter, so as much as I would scream these books to the rooftop for everyone to read, definitely not if you're if you don't like long chapters, it's probably not for you, but I am really enjoying myself. I am now on page 363, and I only have like 90 pages left, so shit probably about to go down. I'm gonna finish this like right now as soon as I'm done talking to you. I have been avoiding going on Goodreads to look because I didn't want to know anything. But now I got a little curious, and this was so funny. Like, I am underprepared for the end of this book, I think. Because if you remember me saying, the end of the first book, well, one, I cried reading the first book, but then I also cried reading the acknowledgments of the first book. And one of my friends, Rachel, rated this one 5 stars and goes, no words. I was bawling at the end of the acknowledgments. So, I guess Stephen Graham Jones just has that effect on people. I think also in this audiobook, despite the fact that it's completely different narrators, Stephen Graham Jones is again going to come and read the acknowledgments. So I'll probably cry. Maybe I'll film that for you. We'll have a little cathartic little cry. I have no idea what I'm going to read after this. I don't know. I'm not going to update you on any of the progress of my team because that feels illegal. I know we're like allowed to talk about it if we want, but I don't want to tell you. So I probably will just say we have a new prompt and not actually update you on really anything else related to the readathon. And I'm just going to tell you what prompt I'm reading for all the time. This is still going to be for popcorn read. I have zero idea what I'm going to pick next. So maybe in about an hour you can come with me to stare at my TBR. I think I want to read something shorter just because the last one was like 400 pages and this one's 450. And now I'm really rambling and I'm getting worried about the length of this vlog because I imported the first of my footage on Thursday and I haven't even started to edit it. So I also have to do that today. So I'm going to shut up and go read, and I will hopefully see you once I finish this book or when I'm crying in the acknowledgements. Stay tuned. Wow. I didn't cry at the acknowledgements. I think I got a little teary-eyed, but seeing as how so much of it is his schooling and literature, I can see why my friend Rachel cried. I'll come back after I process. Okay, we're back in the car. Significantly less hot out today, so that's good. My roommate got home 3 hours early, pretty much immediately after I filmed that last clip. So I'm back now. I went and got a smoothie because I haven't really eaten all day, and this parking lot I can hide in. So here we are. It's been a few hours since I've seen you last. My team unlocked another room, so I've also already read another book. But first, Don't Fear the Reaper. I'm giving this 4 stars, I think. Obviously, I can't tell you a lot about it, because, you know, second in a book, how many times am I going to tell you that? Second in a book, second in a series. But I did really enjoy it, and I like that there were a lot of perspectives in it, but I just think that I would have enjoyed it more with maybe a few less, or if I got to see more from kind of like more of our main characters, then maybe it would be up a little higher. I've been trying to think about like how to explain how this series makes me feel, because there's so much nostalgia in it for me. Of course, now the sun is coming out and I'm getting warm. But I figured out how I could explain it to you. And that is through the acknowledgements of book 1. And you guys are like, oh my god, Olivia, can you stop with the acknowledgements of book 1 already? And I will, soon, I swear. But the acknowledgements in book 1 start with Stephen Graham Jones thanking this man who works at like a little store near where he used to live, because when they were in middle school, he would let them come in and get slasher movies that he knew that they probably shouldn't have, which, like, relatable, I get that. But then, next I'd like to thank one of those 8th graders' dads who would always wait until we were 2 or 3 tapes in to come drag his Freddy fingers on the metal door of the garage we were in. We'd fall off the saggy couch we were piled onto, and we'd blast out the side door, and we've run like I've never run since. Tears slipping back from my eyes, my mouth actually hurting because my smile was so wide. Nothing but darkness yawning open in front of me. I ran into that darkness, and I'm still running. That's what these books feel like. Like, I am running into the darkness and smiling. Like, it's just so nostalgic for all of the movies I grew up with. Like, I am reading them and I'm thinking about walking downtown to our little VHS rental store, which wasn't a Blockbuster because my town was too small for a Blockbuster. Like, it was an independent-owned VHS rental store, and I spent so much time there as a kid. And, like, my dad let me check out Jaws when I was 4 years old, and I've been obsessed with horror movies ever since. And that is what these books feel like. But like I said, I've also read another book. I don't have it because the prompt my team is now working on is Creature on the Cover, and someone in our chat put an 1.5 hour long audiobook off YouTube for the novella Bunnicula, which just so funny to match the shirt of the day with Dracula. So I listened to that to log something really quick. And it was actually a lot cuter than I thought it was going to be. If you don't know what it is, which maybe you don't, but we've been talking about these on sprints since like the start of this readathon. Bunnicula is a story, a novella, a little less than 100 pages, and it's about this family and they find a bunny, but it's told through the perspective of the family's dog, and the cat is convinced that the bunny is a vampire, and it's about the dog and the cat investigating the bunny. And it was cuter than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it, if I'm gonna rate it, because I just like listened to it fast, but it was really good. And maybe I'll actually pick up the second one because I was a little intrigued. What is in this shot? That's strange. But next, also for a creature on the cover, I'm gonna pick up A Devil Comes to Town by Paolo Mazurig. This is translated from Italian, and I pretty much wanted to read it since I heard about it. And all I really know is it is a book where the town is like full of writers. Like it's a town of writers, and the devil comes to town disguised as a publisher. But this definitely counts as a creature on the cover. And I think this is only like 107-ish pages. So I'm going to start this when I get home. But I have some errands to run since today is my day off. It's so bright. Like, can I, whatever. Hopefully you can see me when I edit this. I'm going to run my errands, start this when I get home. I think my roommate has a friend coming over tonight, but I don't think he's sleeping over, so I'll probably be updating you from like midnight in our living room, and I will see you then, and I'll let you know what I thought of A Devil Comes to Town. Alright, you guys, it is time for the final update. So, when we talked last, it was yesterday, and I said I was going to power through The Devil Comes to Town and update you at midnight, and I didn't do that, and I actually DNF'd this today. I'm only 32 pages in, which is really probably like more like 20 something because it starts on page like 7 or 9. But I was literally falling asleep reading this, and like I can't nap unless I'm sick. I don't nap unless I'm really sick. Like I'm incapable of napping, and I was falling asleep trying to read this after work today. I don't know if it's a forever DNF or if I'm just gonna come back to it at another time, but I don't want to do anything that's gonna put me into a slump because I'm already like pushing myself to read more than I usually would. So if I'm not feeling something this month, we're gonna put it down. And I wasn't feeling it. I would love to try again at another point, but that's not gonna be it. Sorry if I'm a little jumbled. It is Wednesday night, or it's Tuesday night. It's Wednesday morning. It's 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. And this is the final update for the vlog, so I guess we'll just talk about what I read really quick. We did Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. This was an intimidating read for me, and it ended up being 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it. And then I read Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. This was 4 stars, and I cannot wait to get to the conclusion of this later this month. Oh, and then I forgot to tell you, after I DNF'd A Devil Comes to Town, today I picked up Bunnicula 2, and I listened to that audiobook. So I listened to 1 and 2. So I've already read 4 books in the first week of Escape the Readathon, which is super exciting because usually I only read like 2 to 5 books a month. So we're doing pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna read the 3rd Bunnicula, maybe at some point, just because the audiobook that I got was a bind up of all 3, so like I have it, I might as well. But that is my vlog. Thank you guys so much if you watched the whole thing. I really, really appreciate you. I think I'm gonna do another vlog. I don't know if I'm gonna jump into one this week because my roommate has knee surgery, but I think I'm going to try to. So maybe it'll just be like a bunch of 1 a.m. updates like this, just of my reading, and it'll be a shorter vlog, which is probably what I need because I've hardly gotten into the editing of this one, and I'm a bit daunted, and I'm kind of like, it's probably not good, and do I even want to post it? But like, I'm not going to get better unless I keep doing it, so I might as well do it. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!